Come on in, have a seat. We will begin our 10:45 time together. Excellent, fantastic. Once a quarter, we have what we call, very aptly named, a quarterly report. It's genius, isn't it? Predominantly a quarterly report for our finances. So if you're a member of Anchor Baptist Church, this is especially for you. Some of our men, Vitaly, you're one of them, right? Handing out a report. If you need one, please raise your hand. Vitaly or Ethan will make sure you get one. Right, Ethan? Absolutely. Very good. So keep your hand up until you get one, and that's great. Dan will come in just a moment. He will lead us through especially a summary of our quarterly report. And then when he's done, we welcome Katie Schaff to come present to our church family what she is anticipating doing in New Mexico. So I'm not going to give anything more away there. But Dan, you come.
We are moving very quickly through this fiscal year. Already 6 months passed. And that's what we're looking at today, 6 months ending July 31. We will begin as we typically do. I see someone up there, that's good. Page 1 of your report has, on the top portion of that page, has this particular spreadsheet there. We usually look, this is the big picture, how everything is going thus far this year. First column is the group of expenses as they are described there. The second column is the annual budget amount for each of those expense groups. And then the third column, total expenses, is what has been spent for this 6 months. The last is the percent of the 6 months expenses of the budget. And so as we look through there, 6 months, 50% would be kind of a target we would look for. Doesn't always happen that way, but we see a couple of the items there are above. We'll look at that a little bit more in detail when we come to page 3 and 4, ministries and facility expenses. But zipping down to the totals there, we notice that our total budget expenses of $164,700 came out to be 37.8% of plan, and our total budget income was 53.5%, or $236,000. And you think, wow, that's tremendous. Well, that is good. I'm not saying that is good, but that is exactly what we plan, because we do, and we are thankful for the fact that they look this way, because we are preparing for a very necessary large expense that comes in the month of December. So we need to build that cash available as we anticipate almost 25% of our budget expense in the month of November, 22 or 23% for that contract payment that goes out. The next slide, drop down to the lower portion there, takes a look at this year, 2025, and compares it with the 3 previous years. As you look at those each main categories, offering giving to the budget, and then we have other non-specific things that come in for receipts, like small group books and other things of that nature. Total budget expenses, and then again, receipts subtracted from the total income gives you our surplus, as it might be. So as you look at this particular year, we are doing well, just a touch behind last year, but nothing of any great concern. Sometimes it's timing of months and Sundays, how they occur. But we are grateful for where we stand this particular point in time, and we're thankful for that. We do not take that for granted. Moving forward to page 2, this gives you our detailed treasurer's report. This is kind of exported from QuickBooks and put into a more simplified version for you to look at and to see. And some of you might think, oh, it's way too busy. Well, that's okay, but it's just a necessary thing to see all that comes in and all that goes out, and how that it is done is as planned. So the top portion there gives you a summary of beginning balances and the receipts in the various categories as they came in. And then the next section down, the total disbursements. And you might notice, I'll mention this, you might notice that there's no additional loan principal payments made through this fiscal year to date. And I give this to you just as a reminder. Back March 3rd, Craig Logeman explained when he presented the annual report in my absence, because there is no building fund investment certificate deposit maturing in 2025, and the next certificate of deposit scheduled to mature is February 2026, it is necessary for us to accrue the entire annual real estate contract payment amount of $183,320 due and payable this coming December. That's a lot of money. And so we have 10 months to accrue that $18,300 per month. So that is why we're disciplining ourselves to accumulate those dollars so that they're available and it can be paid out just seamlessly as they have been before. Typically, we had a CD maturing every year. This year, we have two in 2026, two in 2027, and one in 2028. So just the timing there didn't work out well. But we are able to do that, and we're thankful that we are able to do that. Anything given for Anchor 29 is held in the right account, and when it's appropriate financially to release those dollars later this fiscal year end, that's when we will be able to do that and make a substantial pay down on that principal balance. Moving down to the lower portion of that page 2, unrestricted funds, we see that large amount there, and I just remind you what that represents. That's accumulated cash for things that I've just been talking about, that real estate contract payment due in December. It has to also be for emergency funds required to pay a substantial insurance claim deductible in the event of property damage, $37,000 deductible, and other funds that might be needed related to an expense of an emergency situation that would occur. And then also normal operating funds necessary, more operating balance necessary month to month in the checking account. So all these things are necessary when you have an organization such as we do, but it allows us to function with a plan and with focus and discipline. So we're grateful for that. Moving to page 3 and 4, this gives you all the detailed expenses of income as it comes in the various categories, restricted and then unrestricted. And then the total income, this particular document refers to as total revenue, but total income is another way to refer to that. I mentioned those two categories, ministries and facility. As you look at that ministries group, it does include a line account there for adult ministry, which is primarily all of the small group books that are used in small groups, in Bible studies, and Wednesday evening Bible studies, those type of things. And there is a substantial expense that comes in. We do charge a small amount to purchase those books by members to defray some of that expense. So when you factor in, up there in the upper portion, miscellaneous income, $1,427 of income comes in to offset the nearly $3,000 went out. That takes that 52.3% of the total ministry budget for that group, puts it down to about 45%. So it's right in the track there, as is normal. Secondly, facility expense over about in the middle of page 4. We typically, I have to explain this each year, but in February each fiscal year we have an annual insurance premium due, about $9,000 for all of our package of total coverage for the ministry, liabilities, umbrella, and all those type of things. So when you pay that out up front, because there is a discount to pay it up front, it takes a while for that expense to even out from a percentage standpoint. So everything is all normal, so we're grateful for that. Then moving to page 5 very quickly would be a summary of the detailed portion of our missionary portion of our budget. And you can see all the supporting missionaries that we have or organizations that we have there. And that is progressing as is planned for this particular budget. Nothing unusual or noteworthy to mention there. Then moving to page 6, this is a financial review committee report, and they look at beginning balances. Income comes in, expenses go out, and ending balances per what the treasurer has presented to them. And it provides then a confirming agreement regarding receipts, disbursements, transfers, and balances for the quarter. You might notice somewhere in the middle of that Iowa State Bank CD, we were able to grab, with this accumulation of money, I was concerned that we needed to put that to work. You don't earn much in a money market today. That's why we have everything in CDs. So we were able to put to work, kind of twisted the banker's arm a little bit there to give me a 5-month CD rate, and they did. $150,000 in a cash accumulation for a 5-month CD at just over 4%. That'll mature right in the middle of December. It'll release, and then we'll be able to make that payment. And so we're grateful for that. Then moving to page 7 gives you a detail of the financial secretary report provided by Jim Taylor. This first report was provided by Ron Fincham. We are grateful for his diligent work, week in, week out, month in, and quarterly type things. We gratefully appreciate his work. We work together. I give him a lot of things. He gives it back. I give it back. I give it to Jim. It's a lot of back and forth, but we are grateful for those who help and assist in this process. It just compares basically this particular quarter, May, June, July, with last year, kind of these type of things, so you can see that situation on the first page. Just slightly behind last year, but not of any great concern. Then everything else is pretty much static. Anchor 29 giving increased year to date. Actually, this is from the beginning, February through 2023 through July 31. And then the last two boxes, really no change there because we have not paid out any type of a loan payment or a principal payment since the last reporting period. Lastly, then our church membership report includes those who have joined, and no one has been removed or has been moved away or dismissed, so we are grateful for that. And again, we are thankful for all that is going on, and to the glory of God, we are thankful for your participation. Many people participate, and we are grateful for all who share. If you haven't joined, would like to join, you can talk with me, talk with Jim Taylor. We would love to give you information as to how you can. If you need help with regard to online donations, talk with Nate. He'll be able to help you. We would provide various ways. We don't mention it much. There's a box, and it's online, but God provides in ways, and we all blend our efforts together to accomplish what is done here each month, each year. We are grateful for your participation. Thank you so much. And this concludes it. Are you coming back? Okay. Pastor?
Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate that. As we make our way through one month after the next, one quarter to the next, God is faithful, but he's faithful through people contributing faithfully to what it means to be a part of this church. And we don't emphasize the dollars. Is that right, Dan? We don't emphasize as if we're a church for money. We're not. And yet, to be a church faithfully operating here is, you like our building? It wasn't free. It would be nice if it was free, right? But it wasn't free. And so there's a cost to that. Going back years ago, maybe not years and years, but 6, 8 years ago, we were looking at what do we do next, and saw God guide and direct through wisdom to purchase land, build a building, but it comes at a cost. It would be nice if we had millions of dollars in the bank to say, easy peasy, not a problem. But we have had to be faithful in handling our finances, but also you involved in this on a journey. So we are targeting 2029 as when our balloon payment comes due. Where will we be at that point? Don't know. But this is where, for our membership, the financial reporting is very, very valuable, that you understand where we're at, what we're doing together, and how we can keep faithfully one day, 1 week after the next, following after what God would have us. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Katie is going to come just a minute, but I did not know Nate until Nate showed up. My familiarity with the Shaw family was his older brother, Andrew, right? And Nate and Andrew are very similar, smiley all the time. So Andrew and I were freshmen at Faith together, and Andrew, I think he enjoyed getting under my skin with how bubbly he was. He would come into my dorm room, and he would be taking a nap on my bed, on my pillow, and he just got a kick out of it. And he was always smiling, always happy. So when Nate showed up, not that long ago, I'm like, oh, I know who this guy is. I've seen this face before, right? And